back to Chitalayam. Today we're going to be talking about self-help and self-help books. A prevalent opinion is that they're toxic and unhelpful. Why is that?
Okay, so the first thing we have to understand about this is that every author who writes a self-help book is also human, has their own biases, and has their own life experience. So something that might make sense to them based on their perspective and their experience may not necessarily make sense to any particular reader. And if they're recommending something that doesn't make sense in your life, then you trying to implement that could actually even be harmful to you. So you have to be careful about taking into context what they're saying and really thinking about whether it is applicable to you and not blindly follow everything that they suggest. The second thing is there's also the issue of quality. Not all self-help books are made equal. Some are really, really good and others not so much. But the thing about good self-help books is that they also tend to be very specific niche self-help books. The ones that tend to be really generic, just repeat a lot of platitudes, but don't really have anything new or insightful to say. So it comes down to picking the right books and making sure that whatever you're reading has value in your life before you decide to apply it to your life. Otherwise, there's always the potential of it being toxic to you, even though it might work for someone else.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And so it's a sort of thing where it's like they give the answers and then we have to think about whether that question is for us. And then we're like, how do I get the right question to use this answer? So that's always an issue. And sometimes they also just give false hopes because they want to sound like, they have the answers. And sometimes it's not really realistic. And sometimes it is actually realistic, but because of your experiences, it just doesn't sound realistic. Or, like it can be like, as Deepak said, they could just be saying some basic things and you might have just like wasted your time. And other times are you're probably thinking, oh my God, this is so good. And you sort of go into that and then like you believe everything that they say, like it's like God's words, and then it's like gospel. Whereas
that's
like,
gonna come up in this week sometime.
We could do that, yeah. So that's the issue. Ilakkiya?
You both bring up really good points, and as to how self-help books can really not be helpful, I'm going to take another angle on why they're toxic. They're advertised as a way to solve your life, and because you don't pick the right book, or you pick a book that might not be telling you the right things, and it's very, I guess it's not quality content. It's toxic because you go into it with the expectation that it's going to solve your issues for you, which is problematic in itself because, you want it to solve your issues. You should be working on your issues. You can get ideas, but it's not going to solve it. And then if you go into it, you read the whole book and you still didn't get anything out of it, you try applying it, then it creates a negative mentality towards yourself and that you are inadequate, that you are unable to pursue whatever the book said you could do. And again, the context of that author's life is very important. It's not the same as yours. It never will be. So if you try to apply it in a way that, pushes down your own feelings and your reality to try and live out what the book told you, that's also toxic.
That makes a lot of sense, Ilakkiya. So one of the things that we should keep in mind is that authors in general who write these kind of books have a bias to, like they're a self-selected category of people, right? And these people tend to be those who have seen success after a series of challenges. You don't usually write a book with a story that feels incomplete, where you don't have that success at the end. But that's not what always happens. There's a book called Why Most Things Fail, which I would recommend everyone read. So we don't see enough of what leads to failure. These books tend to only show what leads to success. And that means that you attribute a lot more agency towards yourself in circumstances where you might not have it. So then you blame yourself for things not going your way, even though it might not be your fault.
You guys have talked a lot about how they can apply it, it can go wrong. But the point I want to make is that sometimes they just read the whole book and then go to the next one, and they just keep doing that, and they get like a bit of dopamine high from that. But then like they don't apply it, they don't challenge them, and they just read them and just they move on, and that in itself is like toxic as well. And sometimes it's like they don't even know how to read a self-help book.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of intention that needs to go into making the most out of your experience reading a self-help book. And I think we should talk more about that.
Okay, cool. Let's do that tomorrow then.
See you all tomorrow.
Oh, you're still here? Well, thanks for getting to the end of the video. Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get new updates when we post videos. Also, make sure to check out these equally exciting videos as well. Have you pressed it yet? Come on, you have 5 seconds left. 3, 2, press it now!